Welcome to Echoes from the Heart, the weekly homily podcast from Immaculate Heart of Mary Parish in Wayne, New Jersey. Each episode offers a moment of reflection, a word of hope, and a chance to let the gospel speak to your life. Thank you for praying with us today. The question on a job application read, "Have you ever been arrested?" The applicant wrote, "No." Then came the follow-up question, "Why?" And the applicant, too honest for his own good, wrote, "I guess it's because I never got caught." You laugh, but you also wince a little because it hits close to home. A cartoon shows a company president telling his staff, "Gentlemen, this year the trick is honesty." One vice president says, "Brilliant." Another whispers, "But so risky." And that's the world we live in. Honesty is still admired, but it feels risky. Because sometimes it seems like the honest person loses, and the one who cuts corners gets ahead. That's why Jesus' words today are so direct. He says, "Unless your righteousness exceeds that of the scribes and Pharisees, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven." That's the gospel for this Sunday. And Jesus is not trying to scare us. He's trying to wake us up, because we have a problem, not just out there in politics or business, but right in ordinary life. We get comfortable with little dishonesty, not always big scandals, just little things. It's only a small lie. It's only a few dollars. Everybody does it. I'm not hurting anyone. At least I didn't get caught. And Jesus says, it matters. A man once confessed to his pastor that he had stolen something, a hammer, from the steel mill where he worked, and he said it the way people often say it. Everybody was doing it. It's no big deal. It's just one hammer. But the pastor told him about a report. Thefts at that mill averaged about $1,000 a week. His hammer, along with what others were taking, was costing the company tens of thousands of dollars a year, and to make up for the loss, the factory raised prices. And the pastor told him something he didn't expect. "You didn't hurt the company. You hurt everybody in this city." In one poll, Americans said the most important quality in a friend was honesty, more important than sharing common interests, and more than twice as important as having a sense of humor. The half-truth, the hidden detail, the "don't ask", the "I'll tell you later", the "it's not your business", the "it's fine" when it's not fine. And over time, the relationship becomes weaker, not because love is gone, but because trust is bleeding out. Now this is important. When Jesus says righteousness, he doesn't mean be perfect so God finally loves you. He's talking about something deeper, a heart that is straight with God, a life that isn't fake, a life where the inside and the outside match. Because the scribes and Pharisees could look holy, while their hearts were still full of pride, anger, and contempt. Jesus says, that's not the kingdom. In other words, God is not looking for people who can perform religion. God is looking for people who will tell the truth about themselves, about others, and about Him. So how do we actually live this? Let me give you 4 simple ways. Not complicated, just real. 1. Decide ahead of time. I'm going to tell the truth. Honesty is easier when you choose it before the temptation hits. If you wait until the moment, you'll start negotiating with yourself. And if you're in a situation where dishonesty is the culture, where people pressure you, tease you, or punish you for doing right, sometimes the most faithful thing you can do is step away. 2. Use one question as your test. Before you do something, ask, if somebody did this to me, would I call it fair? That one question will save you from a lot of rationalizing. 3. Give your best. Because cutting corners is a kind of dishonesty. Integrity isn't only don't steal, it's also don't be lazy with your responsibilities. Don't do half a job and call it a full job. When you do things well, when you show up, when you keep your word, when you take responsibility, you are being righteous in a very practical way. 4. Remember the cross. This is the part that brings it home. When we say, "It's not a big deal," look at the cross. Jesus shows us the truth about sin. It's not cute, it's not small, it doesn't stay contained. Sin breaks trust, it damages love, it wounds the world, and Jesus takes that seriously enough to give his life for us, not to shame us, but to save us and make us new. So today, Jesus isn't saying, "Try harder and be perfect." He's saying, don't settle for fake goodness. Don't settle for appearances. Let God make you whole. Because honesty really is brilliant. And yes, it can feel risky, but it's the only path that leads to peace. So here's a simple challenge for the week. Pick one area where you're tempted to bend the truth just a little and decide, not this week. Not because you're trying to impress God, but because you want to be free. May our righteousness exceed, not in show, not in pride, not in judgment, but in sincerity, humility, and truth. Thank you for listening to Echoes from the Heart. If this reflection blessed you, consider sharing it with someone who might need a word of hope today. For Mass times, parish events, and upcoming programs, visit ihmwayneandj.org. God bless you, and may your week be filled with peace and grace.